Okay, today is Tuesday, August 4th. I will be going on the walking trail today, inshallah. So, I have my water, the same one I had yesterday, but I added the top part to it. So, it's longer. There's just water with a few frozen strawberries in there. I have my weapons, my lethal, less lethal, and non-lethal. You can't see it. Yep, fully covered. So I got my long kimar on and making sure that, it's absolutely covered and I'm not showing anything. You could not see my shape at all. Alhamdulillah. So I'm good. And the next thing I need to do is share, after I leave the house, share my location with my husband and be off. Today is a lot warmer out than it was yesterday. I can feel it already. And it doesn't help that I have this on. I need a thinner one. This Kimar is too thick. I need to make a smaller one. Well, this one actually, it came from, look at this, Ethiopia or Tanzania. I forgot which country you got this one from. But as time it goes, inshallah, hopefully finds a thinner one. Because my other ones I normally wear is currently being dried. I had to hand wash it. Because, anything black can attract things that are white. No pun intended. So I looked at the map the other day and today, and it was like the trail that I wanted to walk on is actually across the street. So I have to cross Hines Drive to get to the trail. And I'm not planning on walking the entire trail because I don't think so. That is an 18-mile trail. I'm not planning on walking 18 miles. No. In fact, I don't think I ever walked that amount of miles in one day. No. If I'm gonna go throughout the whole trail, it most likely will be, or at least half the trail will be on a bike, if I had a bike. thing all crooked. Hopefully the thing's clean. I didn't make sure that I wiped it yet. But I'm not seeing much because I'm near people's houses and people are outside and stuff. And I am an anxious person, a socially anxious person, so I don't feel comfortable like randomly talking to a camera when I pass people or get near them. Unless I'm actually speaking to them, which is not very often. I just talk to them folks anyway. That's cute. They have little toy chairs on the lawn. It's adorable. Okay, now coming up to the park. Rouge River. Also, that's what it is, the Rouge River. I keep wanting to call it Rogue River, but it's pronounced Rouge. I can hear the bugs. Ew. I thought I'd be a walnut tree around here somewhere, because I see a walnut shell. Yeah, I've seen it right here. So one of these contain walnuts. I might run into some more somewhere. I'm definitely looking at these trees to see if I can tell. See if it's the park right there. See, you can see it's very isolated. I mean, like no one's there. And not much, because it doesn't get much action. And there's occasionally some people in there, but it has to be like an event going on. So that's why my husband doesn't want me to be in there like that, because it is very, there's like no one in there. Whereas over here, there's more traffic expected. Because not only is it along a bike path, there's playgrounds, and people are normally always, whenever I'm in my husband's car and we drive by, there's always people along Hines Drive, playing in the parks or doing whatever, running, riding their bikes, whatever. Very active. Whereas over here, not much happens. So, yeah. Unless it's like it or something. And there's, we come out to the park and pray outside. Which, of course, some people think it's a display of dominance, and it's totally ridiculous. Because the way we pray isn't a show of dominance. If you actually look, if people were actually pay attention to the body language that we have during prayer, nothing about it screams dominance. It screams submission. In every way. We're not standing in no Superman pose or nothing like that. So it's like, calm down. This is the way that we pray. It's not performative. The only time somebody's prayer can be considered performative, they're like just praying along by themselves, and they're constantly showing themselves praying all the time. Like Lily J. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I've thought about doing a video on her. I have pieces saved on my phone to do a video, and I'm not sure if I'm going to release it or not. It's not finished or anything. But the thing about her is, like, before the whole AI, the whole scamming stuff, AI stuff, got circulated and all that. I'm saying that incorrectly. So, yeah, I remember, like, my husband was, like, watching something on TV, and Cora happened to be interviewing or speaking with Lily J. And I didn't pay too much attention to whatever she was saying, because my husband changed it anyway. Changed whatever he was, because, he watching YouTube, so it automatically, like, goes to a different video, Anyway, I was, like, saying that. But I am tired of seeing her face. Like, what is the deal with her? Why are people platforming her so much? Because I remember seeing her more than a year ago on TikTok or like, maybe it was Twitter or something, or both. And I was talking about, hey, it's ChatGPT, blah, 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 asking questions, and I'm like, it was interesting at first, but I just found her voice to be annoying. And like, all of a sudden you hear that she's Muslim, and I'm like, she's Muslim, but yet she's still wearing the fitted tiny t-shirts. And, not wearing hijab, and I'm like, okay, she's Muslim. And then next thing you know, it's like, suddenly she has a so-called foundation. And foundations are the ones that fund, like, certain organizations. Like, for instance, like, they distribute funds to, like, help with cancer research or something like that. And her so-called foundation isn't doing that. It's it's trying to show itself as a charity, but not being an actual charity at all, but actually being a for-profit business, which is, of course, sketchy at best. Like, that makes no logical sense, right? Okay, let's see. Wait for this car to go by, or this truck. There's another one about to go by. I can't tell. So I'm doing both the parts. So there we go. Good thing is people are not driving fast along it. Anyway. Okay, so I'm back on that route that I was on yesterday anyway. But yeah, her charity isn't, her foundation is not a foundation, and people are saying that even like the so-called orphanage that she's fostering, it doesn't exist or something. Wait a minute, there's more. Okay, I'm gonna need to come over here and with a bag. So I'm gonna start picking them instead of buying them from the store. Cause that was walnut. So yeah. Oh, I see more. Yes, definitely. I'm coming back. I'm good. Inshallah, I'm coming back. I might just start stuffing it in here on my way back. Oh, there's several of them. Alhamdulillah. I'm seeing multiple of them. You know, I'm repicking that stuff. Multiple. All this time it was over here, and me and the boys were like looking for them. Wow. So there's like several walnut trees over there. Several. So I'm gonna need to come back, and get that stuff inside. My grandmother used to have one in the back, a walnut tree, and it would like grow. I mean, it would produce walnuts every like 3 years or so. But she used to love it. Anyway. Okay, so now we're back at that one part that we were watching yesterday. Kids playing around. Who they are, mothers around. But I'm not cross that street, inshallah. Anyway. And I did viewed a few shorts of, a few clips of her. And then I was like, one of her videos responds to it. It was monetized, of course. And like it was ridiculous. She could have apologized. She's talking about she didn't use AI in a deceptive manner or something like that. And AI is deceptive. Especially when you don't know you're looking. Like who is deceptive all the way? And he's not claiming she didn't use it in a deceptive manner and whatnot. Deception is deception regardless. She did not claim that. What she did wasn't deceptive towards others. It really was. I accidentally don't have soap in here because I'm like noticing it. Hopefully that's just the strawberries melting or something. I'll taste it later, inshallah. Anyway, it was really telling when she and all through the video she cuts here and there, it's all this editing doing. And said, well, I'm gonna go live with so and so. Like, that's not live. A recorded video is not live. It's just, and like she recorded herself crying. She didn't edit that mess out. She kept that mess in to manipulate people. And now I gotta cross the street. Oh yeah, I see the trail from here now that I can actually, now that I'm focusing my eyes on like the the edges of the across the street over there. So I got cross safety, of course. Okay, let's get a little bit going to the right. Okay. And it's annoying. She couldn't apologize for anything, but except she expected other people to apologize to her. First she made it seem like, oh, it's not my fault, blah, 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 for a quick moment. And then she immediately started blaming Muslims. And people, other Muslims that have channels that are trying to warn other Muslims regarding the situation. You're supposed to give us excuses and blah, 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 blah. We're supposed to excuse people who are honest, not somebody who's blatantly lying to your face. That's what she was doing. She's been doing, lying to folks' face. And some people just fall for her mess, hook, line, and sinker, because the fact that she's a pretty blonde attracts them. And actually, with someone she led, they see blonde woman, Western blonde woman, or whatever, but they look for validation any way possible, so they cling to these people, give them all this money and support. Actually, just money and views and clicks, and it's ridiculous. Like, because there be people that's coming out of the woodworks, becoming very popular and getting money for Muslims who are gullible like that. She's not a role model for any Muslim or anybody into Islam, because I say that because she lacks knowledge, complete knowledge, but she wants to hand out shahada. She wants to give people hijabs and stuff like that, even though she doesn't wear it. She wants to speak on modesty, even though she doesn't dress modest. Like, go to her Instagram, go on her, I think it might be on, still, may not be on her Instagram anymore. Well, she does still have her music Instagram up. And then on her Facebook, there's images of her that are just from the days when before Islam, and she wearing bikinis and all this other stuff, all her body showing, and she still got it up. And heard that like somebody else controls one of her accounts or whatever. It's not her that is like in control of it or whatever, but that's still bad. Anything that got your name and got your face in it, you should be controlling. Then it shouldn't be your official, Facebook or Instagram account or anything. If someone else controls it, who's not your husband or whatever. I smell the water nearby. It's in the air. I don't know where it's at though. Like you can feel that moisture. Oh yeah, probably across the street. Definitely can smell wet dirt. I wonder if I can see from here. Yep, over here. I'm not sure if I can see it on the camera. There's a little bit of it. Ooh. Did not expect to see that. That's probably the big thing I was hearing anyway. Because I was hearing something in the bushes or whatever you want to call it, in the tree line, but I couldn't see what it was. And a good thing there's benches around too, so I can sit down and have a drink. Oh, here's here's another tree. It's an apple, or I don't know how well you can see it. Yeah, it's another walnut tree. So now I know exactly where to go for walnuts. Okay, alhamdulillah. So you see more and more walnut trees is good things. So anyway, the problem wrong with Lily J is like you see videos of her, and it's like certain videos that she put out is, oh my gosh, so disrespectful. And people that that goes in a little bit. But I don't want to go in there. I want to stay on the path for now, unless I see something that makes me want to get off the path. Anyway, like one of the videos that she sold of herself was, okay, she was at like an airport somewhere, and her and her husband wanted a place to pray, and the only place that they supposedly saw was a room that's meant for Christian prayer, right? She went in there. In fact, she asked the question whether it was okay for her to even pray. Are they allowed to pray in such a place? And then she followed it off by saying, I don't care. Like, how you, in this disrespectful, in just, like, oh my gosh. People, don't speak on don't speak on Chantel for being an imperfect Muslim. Because she does not do stuff like this. Okay. She might be questionable in certain areas, but not like this. But she's going to go in there. Okay, it has a picture of Isa, peace be upon him, on the wall, and a cross. And we are not to pray in any rooms or any areas that have a cross or images of. And they both decided to pray in there anyway. And she, in particularly, she wasn't wearing appropriate clothing. She wore a hood. What kind of Muslim woman goes anywhere without a hijab and accessible to them so they can use it whenever they need to pray if they're a non-hijabi? Come on now. And she filmed herself praying. I thought it was just like, she does it on purpose. Multiple times you see her either praying or doing something like that on camera. Try to prove herself. Like, ma'am, young lady, nobody with any common sense, any inkling of intelligence, of knowledge of Islam, is going to look at you and think that you're the ultimate Muslim. It's disgusting the way she shows herself like. And then she there's video of her and her husband and her daughter doing a dance before they enter the mosque, and Lily is dressed in a hoodie and some shorts. I think she might have she had on a scarf. I think wasn't how she normally covers, but her shorts. Her hoodie wasn't long enough to cover her rear end or anything like that, and she went in there and prayed in that like that. Her rear end was not covered. And then there's other videos of her and her daughter together. Talking about, I can't remember what she said. talking about no excuses or something like that, or talking about anytime, anywhere, no excuses. And like they're like on the plane. In one video, they're on the plane, and what they did was just put their hoodies on, tighten up the pull strings, and then started praying right on camera. They did show it also at a hospital where Lily was in a wheelchair. Her daughter was next to her, and they was in those same exact hoodies. I don't know what this fool that they was doing, but that was not smart. But they did the same hoodie thing, pull up the straps and stuff, and they started praying. But Lily in that chair, and most of her forearm was showing on one of her arms. It's just all your neck showing, you got hair showing, and your arm showing. It's like, come on, girl. I know she got people are mentioning these things to her. Another video, she shows herself walking somewhere, and it shows her from the back, and you can see her pants up her butt. Like, why would you post that and just allow it to be a thing like that? What time is it? Walking for 37 minutes. I think I'm going to stay on this side. The most part, I think. Oh. No, I'm fine. And then there's like other ones that there's one where she's wearing like yoga pants or whatever you want to call them, or athletic pants, tight fitted black pants. And the clip and the thing said, Miss Salah or jump into the pool, and she jumped into the pool with her clothes on. She was wearing nothing. I mean, we see your backside, sis. Like, it's just shameful. Like, it really is shameful. And then going back to that video, she was out there trying to guilt trip Muslims. So, like the ones she was talking about, threatening to sue people for defamation and slander. Helms Haven, Hines Park. So, been to another park. And I'm beginning to sweat a lot on my forehead right now. I'm walking for 37 minutes. See over there, there's another one. Let's see, there's a bench nearby. I sit down and drink this water. The other is go into the park a little bit. looks like the other one too. But a lot of the parks do look the same. Okay. But if it wasn't for that, the whole AI thing, I wouldn't have looked into her at all. So, like, the more I see of her, the more she disgusts me. Because even some of the things that she claims is like, she's trying to quote stuff from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and she misquotes it in association with something that it has nothing to do with. I don't even feel comfortable being over here. There's just like the one person in here. I'm like, no, let me walk a little further. I'd rather have it on the side of the walkway versus in the park. Especially when I don't see family, kids, parents or something like that. I'm gonna just, keep moving. Anyway, just the more I see of her, it's like, oh my gosh. And it's like, she should have just apologized at first and not start trying to manipulate folks. And like, oh yeah, there was one small short video she posted talking about trying to clickbait people or rage bait. So I'm leaving Islam. That's what you hated what me to do and da 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 da. And like, no one wants you to leave Islam, honey. But if you live Islam, whatever. Because one of the things that is true, people leave religions, different faiths, every single day of the week. And that does not indicate whether the religion itself is true or false. That is an indication of the person. Because sometimes, with a lot of things, like the true nature of the individual really comes out. Like, are you really about, is it really about you worshiping one God and following the right path, or are you seeking approval? Because with a lot of times, I feel that a lot of people just seek approval from others, and if they're not receiving all the accolades and all the claps and backpats that they want, they're going to move on. But if they would actually study the religion itself, actually follow what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and follow what Prophet Muhammad spoke of in the hadith, the things that were said about him, they will realize that some things are meant for as a test. And a lot of people aren't passing that test, apparently. Apparently a lot of people are not passing the test. Like, people go through more strenuous tests and come out unscathed, whereas these TikTok Muslims, instant fame Muslims, they crumble with a slightly, it's the smell. I hope I don't find anything worse than that, honestly. Just the slightest disapproval of what you're doing You want to hang it up. You say that people ran you out of Islam or whatever, and like, no. And there are simple things that you can do. You don't like the comments you're getting? Maybe online, you produce yourself as a Muslim. Maybe you should dress like a Muslim, act like a Muslim, and be more aware of your surroundings and more aware of yourself. Because, yeah, you would get scrutiny for what you don't understand. And yeah, the people just, you could be on their dress correctly or whatever, and like, they're all, especially like those men that like to troll others. Actually, you don't know if they're Muslim or not. They're just all questionable anyway. But they like to troll women online. So it doesn't matter what you do. You could be trying to do everything right, and you could appear to do everything right. They still have something to say, like, women shouldn't be online anyway. Da, 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 da. And it's always a no-name individual, no face. Nothing. You don't know nothing about the dude. They just pop it off at the neck for every little thing. Yeah, one of the things I feel like, if you can't handle criticism from other Muslims, how are you going to handle criticism from non-Muslims? That's what I wonder. Because even if people give you death threats online, take that with a grain of salt. Especially when your location and all the other stuff is unknown. All you gotta do is, like, hand that off to the proper authorities and be on your way. And I don't think that is anyway, like, people shouldn't be doing that in the first place, because that's like completely, oh my gosh, unhinged, basically. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam never gave people random death threats for not dressing appropriately, or misunderstanding the sunnah, or misrepresentation, Muslims or whatever like that. Like, it's crazy. And even when you, like, say evil stuff about the Prophet and his wives and stuff like that, he did not exact revenge on those people just for what they said. In fact, during the time when he was alive, he was disrespected left and right, and people wanted him to die. That's what they constantly were attacking Muslims. Even stopped caravans of food and stuff like that from going to where the Muslims were. To deprive Muslims of their basic necessities. They did a lot. If you fold under, what I was going to say before, actually, was something that's so simple that people can do is just log off on being online. You can easily log off. You can block people. You can turn off comments. Those are simple things. You can just choose to ignore it altogether and just move on with your life. But people don't know how to do that nowadays. One thing I know it's hard and frustrating when people want to come at you with all this negative stuff about yourself, because I had that before. But keep moving, keep doing who you are. If you believe that what you're doing, and honestly got truth and stuff like that, the truth will speak louder than the lies that people spit out, louder than the assumptions that people get, because truth will always stand up, will stand against the scrutiny of others if it's the truth. Islam definitely is one prime example of that. Ever since Islam was founded, people have been wanting to destroy it by any means necessary. And currently you can see what people are doing currently online regarding and the propaganda against Islam. Saying all these nasty things, twisting hadith and ignoring stuff. Like one of the things that I've been personally reading up on is the things that Aisha said in the hadith. And Aisha, people don't really realize that, but she's a prominent Muslim leader. She was the first female Muslim scholar. People don't know that. She was very outspoken. She was not timid at all. She spoke her mind. And people nowadays make it seem like she's some victim who has a voiceless victim. And she was not a voiceless victim. She had her own voice. She spoke. And if she wanted to say something, she would say it. Period. I am at 52 minutes. So I'm going to start heading back. Whew. Earlier today would have probably been better, but it's not. Yeah, so yeah. My view of Lily J is that she needs to get her thing right and she needs to be quiet mostly. She needs some proper advisors around her. But it seems like anyone that's around her is just one of those yes ma'am people. Anything she does wrong, no issue. And right now I'm like the people like her that are online, they don't wear hijab and stuff like that, they are promoting their own version of Islam, which they don't realize. And they also are having an influence on other Muslims in a negative way. Because for them, hijab is a choice. And for me, I'm thinking of hijab as a whole attire, not just what's on the head. It's about actually hijab is more than that. Actually, hijab is how you present yourself, how you speak to people, all that. And like she neither wears hijab and wears modest clothing. The Islamic version of modest clothing, which is the highest standard of modesty there is currently that I can think of. Oh, mile 16. So it starts somewhere. I don't know where. It actually starts further down in Dearborn, I think. But I'm not going to go from start to finish. Nope. As I said before. Anyway, like, it's one thing if you don't wear hijab. It's another thing. I mean, it's one thing if you don't wear a scarf on your head. It's another thing when you are dressing just like every other non-Muslim out there. Wearing skit type pants, arms out, just too much formation of your boobs or so, and just all that stuff. Like, you dress no different from anyone else, but then you speak on modesty. It's hypocritical, honestly. Especially when she posted that video and she's standing next to two nuns and she's the odd one out because she's not wearing a hijab or anything. She's wearing regular Western street clothes. And it would have been more appropriate if she wore a hijab or something and wore an abaya. At least try sometimes. Especially if you're in one of the things also that annoys me, like, you will go in front of, she'll meet imams and stuff like that and still dress how she regularly dresses. You don't change at all. Like, you don't have the mind to really actually cover up your body in the presence of those people. Sad. It shows a lack of respect for yourself, and you don't feel that you should present yourself in front of a person of higher religious knowledge than you in a more of a respectable manner. Because Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was still alive, and he entered an area, and he would be moving his head a different area. He would be turning his head or moving his body entirely. She has no self-awareness at all. And just because you hand out shahada doesn't mean much of anything. For me, it doesn't mean much. Giving somebody else a shahada, but you're not, and like, in actual good religious communities, like, when someone gives the shahada, there are people nearby to guide them into Islam. Teach them how to pray, teach them the basics of Islam. They're just not going to just see them for that one moment and like give them a hijab and be on your way. That's not it. Because it seems like that's what she's doing. And honestly, she's talking about giving dawah, but I've never heard her actually give dawah, actual dawah. You know, how the people at Speaker's Corner give dawah. How the Muslim Lantern gives dawah. You don't hear a complete conversation. And when it comes to dawah, people are actually and there are like many Muslims that give dawah. My husband used to give dawah. Like they do dawah outside of their daily careers and stuff. They go through training for that. They have to have some form of knowledge. They just can't be just in your body because they converted and they have faith in their hearts. They can just randomly hand out whatever information they can give. Like, that's not dawah. Because if the person has a hard question, you can't answer, like, what's going to do? Like, even, I feel like she lacks just the basic understandings of Islam. This is the basics. And a lot of people do. Like, you literally have to like the information don't come out of nowhere. And, just because you were born Muslim or converted to Islam doesn't mean you're organically going to get that information that you need to increase your knowledge of the deen. Like, no. Just like everything else, you have to study. You have to read on it. I'm not talking about watching little Instagram clips or whatever, or reading a hadith or a random one that pops up online. Like, no. I'm talking about in-depth research, reading. And it's just not just reading. You have to follow what you're reading as well. It's really, really telling because, like, literally, she talks about the Quran, not the Quran, but hijab all the time, but yet she completely ignores the fact that she should be running. And she even, in one tweet, acknowledges that it's a sin. But then she tried to compare it to, it's not like it's a big major sin or anything, or that's not how she put it, but anyway. I don't have the tweet in front of me, so. Walking for 59 minutes so far. Well, recording for 59 minutes. Walking for an hour. It's just something else. Like, because people, it's just, a lot of time, a lot of people just need to sit down. And one of the things that is true about me is that I'm not ready to go out there and try to do dawah. And with some of my videos, I'm reluctant to even finish them and upload them to my other channel, because I feel like I always have to look into more and see if what I'm saying is right or not, because I have to be very cautious what I send out. Like, all Muslims should be aware of what they send out. But some folks just don't care, because as long as it's giving them some revenue, right? Constantly there for that issue. Because, her response video and her other video after that, those ones were her longest videos. And, she does mainly short videos, like 10 minutes or less or something like that. It's very short, like 5 minutes or something. Just normally short videos. But for the videos that she posted regarding her business practices and stuff like that, she decided to, keep it monetized. All the while she was talking about how other channels got their agendas and trying to profit from it, And look at her keeping the monetization on the videos and getting a ton of viewership. Like today, one of them is like over 100K views. That's thousands of dollars right there, just from that one video. Or supposedly of that thousands of dollars, because I don't know how the whole money thing works. sometimes you can claim that you giving people an estimate of they make about this much. Then in reality, the person claimed like, actually, I didn't receive that much. I received only this little bit. So, yeah. Oh, I feel it in my back. It's hurting. I don't know if this is on red or it's telling me to go. I can't tell. Look at that light. I guess this one stops. I can't tell at all. What is it? Oh, here we go. My piriformis syndrome is acting up. Literally a pain in the butt. Oh my gosh. And like that light, I couldn't tell at all because both of the hand and the person walking was both lit up. So good thing I waited. And then the person went from like a whitish color to orange. So that's when I knew it was okay for me to walk. But of course, gotta watch out for people that turn because, you know, always gotta be extra careful. I've been walking for an hour and 7 minutes so far. The phone is at an hour and 7. Oh my goodness. I'm walking slower. I gotta push myself to keep going. Because right now in my head I'm thinking of, I wish there was like a bus stop right here that would like go further down so I can like, you know, hop on the bus, take it a few stops, and get off. I'm definitely going to do some stretching of my legs, trying to release, to relax those muscles that are like acting up right now. Sometimes I forget about this issue until it pops up. Because when I used to work full time, even when I work part time and my job required a lot of walking, I would be like this, where I am now. I would be having that piriformis pain. But I'll continue to work though, continue to limp. And I'm gonna do a little stop right here for some more water. Because it's the sinner to drink while sitting and kneeling. Speaking of that, I recently saw a video and like it came from like another country, the clip video, and there's this guy. He was walking and like he handed a hijabi. Or maybe she was already holding it, the water bottle. He handed her the water bottle. She already had the water bottle. She was about to drink, and he like told her what. In the video, you can't hear him speaking, but he gestures to her to kneel. And that's what she did. She kneeled and she drank the water. And people who are not Muslims, mostly Islamophobes or anti-Muslim folks, because people who are not Muslim, they sometimes know certain things, contain certain knowledge, but they're not, they're like Christian or whatever. But you know, these particular people online was like saying something negative about it. Something like he forces her to kneel and stuff like that, and like, oh, bow before him. I'm like, that's not what is going on at all. Because it's better to sit while drinking than stand up. And I believe there was something I read regarding the benefits of it, the health benefits of it. But I can't recall it right now, so. But online space is so toxic. It's so ridiculous. I mean, like for instance, there was a bunch of, I keep seeing certain posts regarding, I think this is where I turn. What is that? Is that a turtle? Yeah, it is a turtle. Let's see it from a distance. Get a little closer. But anyway, like, lately I've been seeing a lot of posts from so-called ex-Muslims, right? On Twitter. Are you going to pop up again? That's what I want to know. Are you going to pop up again? I'll just keep them away. Anyway, they literally like, it's crazy because there's a community of people out there. Like the whole entire existence on Twitter is all about being an ex-Muslim, all about criticizing Muslims and saying all this messed up, twisted stuff. like this particular person claims she left Islam because her parents wouldn't allow her to get a dog. Then another person, she said something else, that she left Islam because her mother was trying to make her drink camel urine. Like, really? But this is also one of the same people that say leaving Islam was like the best decision she could have made, or something like that. Or something like that. And like, if you're living your best life, why are you hung on the past? If Islam is left to a lesson for you, why are you hung up on it? For real. There's a bunch of, seriously, you can even go on Twitter and type in ex-Muslim and you will see there were a ton of people with it in their ex-Muslim in their name or in their description or something like that. And it's like, being an ex-Muslim is a whole personality. It's just bad mouthing the faith that you supposedly left. Why don't you, if you found something better than Islam, why don't you talk about that? Talk about your love for whatever it is that you got right now, versus what you hate and what you left behind. And that's like a person being obsessed with their ex, boyfriend or girlfriend, and like have a whole page dedicated to hating on them. It's just obsession of like, y'all need some help. Like, that is disgusting. Oh yeah, this is what I do cross over. Okay. And it is just so disgusting. And it's so, I just find these people to be so disgusting, so vile, very vile creatures. Because I understand that Islam isn't for everybody, and everybody not going to like our way of life and so on and so forth, and have their own, opinions regarding it. I understand this, but at the end of the day, my back. Oof. I didn't realize it, but my phone started recording when I ran across the street, I guess, because I guess I accidentally pressed the button. So, yeah. But anyway, like, what I was saying is that, like, as soon as I got my first book around when I was around 10 or 11, I would read through it, and whenever I heard something crazy that someone said, like from my siblings' conversations that I was overhearing, I would look and I would be like, I would read to find out whatever this person was saying was incorrect. The person who were saying whatever to my siblings. So, and that stuff I kept to myself. I didn't like speak loud or whatever, and like, but when my certain siblings change phase or whatever, and I'm like, it's getting good for me. I saw it as, okay, so she's Christian now, okay. And I noticed that she wanted to, at some point she stopped dressing in a particular way, or she stopped, I mean, like, for me, I was like, if she found a faith that works for her, then good. There's my personal opinion. But when she started arguing with my father, that was like, to myself, I was like thinking, you know what? If I was a parent, I wouldn't have kicked her out the house. And then she's being disrespectful towards the faith too. She needs to go. Because that is a line that has been crossed. That shouldn't have been crossed. Because you changing your faith is one thing. But you harassing people about their faith and being disobedient to your own parents that let you live there for free, that's a line that's been crossed. So, like, one particular person used to call me on a regular basis, talking about, oh, you're going to hell, this, and that. And mind you, I was still an innocent teenager at this point. Probably like 16, 17, 18. All my ages. Never had a boyfriend, never did drugs. Stayed in my lane. Taught myself to pray, pray, read the Quran, not get in fights, all that stuff. Good. So when she was like telling me that I'm, like over the phone was telling me that I'm going to hell and all this stuff, and I'm like, it was ridiculous. I mean, from like the age of 15 to like the age of like 20 or 21, this harassment went on. So that went on for like around 4 years or more. But even though that was true, I was still trying to figure out who was teaching her this crazy stuff. Like, not one time were we taught this type of behavior. Or told to harm non-Muslims or anything like that. And even in the Quran, like, there's the stuff that's in the Quran is in context of the time, and it tells you in there, like, if well, I'm paraphrasing, this is not the exact quote from the Quran. I'm just listening, like, for instance, like, if a group that you're fighting against wants to stop fighting and wants peace, you honor that. So they stop fighting, you don't fight them. If a group is actively seeking to kill you, you fight them. They're actively trying to fight you, fight them back. But it was never once in the Quran or anywhere else that matters that tells Muslims that if you see somebody that you dislike or a group that you dislike, you go up to them, you kill them. Nothing like that. Nothing. So I just find it to be absolutely crazy, the stuff that people pull out of their ends regarding Islam. When good and well, there are things within your own faith that you need to consider before opening your mouth. Because, there are things within the Bible itself that are questionable. And by the way, I don't consider the Bible to be the 100% Word of God like Christians do. I believe that it has been messed with. So there's some truth in there and there is some falsehood, and the only way we can tell the truth from falsehood is if whatever is in there basically, let me scratch that real quick. we believe that Quran is the ultimate authority over the Bible. So if we see something in the Bible that conflicts with the Quran, we don't follow it, or we don't believe, or that is something we believe that it's been not of God saying that type of stuff. So it was like influenced by man. So oh. So like when I was younger, I used to look at TV and that Christian channel to see what some of the things they were saying, and I could see that some of the negative things that my sister was saying was coming from the mouths of fellow Christians, of bigoted Christians or evangelicals or whatever you want to call them. It doesn't come from a Muslim source at all. It's their opinion of whatever it is, their interpretation of something, which is twisted the original, what it originally was. And, it was around that time, after 9/11, even before 9/11, I dealt with this issue, but anyway. And it was more after, just before 9/11, when I actually started being more serious and started learning more, started studying the Quran more and learning about and how to teach myself how to properly pray, because I didn't know how to properly pray. So and some people believe that they're from a Muslim family and but being from a Muslim family doesn't mean anything. It isn't until you are off on your own, learning about your faith by yourself, independently, able to pray independently, and that's when you being from a Muslim family and actually being a Muslim actually counts, because you're actually practicing the deen. Whereas just following it because your parents follow it. And people don't understand the difference between, you could say that's very similar to being a cultural Christian or cultural Muslim. You're just following the religion of your parents, no thought, you didn't really practice it, don't really know much, except what they told you or whatever. So that's what I think of that. So which people, if I had a garbage can with me, I'd definitely be picking up some of this stuff. If I had one of the pencil things with me too, because I can't stand seeing litter everywhere. So, like I was saying, so being born Muslim means really nothing until you actually start practicing the faith. Because you hear, with some of these explanations you hear, I was born into a Muslim family, they forced me to pray, and da-da-da-da. And they call themselves an ex-Muslim. If you say that you are being forced to pray, but then you call yourself a Muslim, you wasn't never really practicing Muslim in the first place. You was raised with those who believed in Islam, and you never really followed it yourself. So you never embraced Islam. Okay. Getting closer. Alhamdulillah. I think I smelled a hint of something died over here too. And so kind of swelling up ever so lightly, because the blood is in my hands, just light swelling. Let's see how much. So an hour and 32 minutes I've been walking so far. I know I've got to be past the 10,000 step mark. Probably like around 15,000 steps right now. That's what I'm assuming without looking at my watch. That is definitely a walk that I'll do every day. I think I'll be good at just maybe just a few times a week, perhaps. Not an everyday thing. And somebody to get a proper like box or something for their packages so that ignorant folks don't try to take it. And have a camera up too if they don't have one up. Because I see somebody with packets on over there. Folks nowadays like to steal stuff. That's alright. But even if you do have like a package delivery box, for some reason, certain delivery folks don't act like they cannot see the box even if, and they just toss it on the porch for anybody and everybody to see and grab. But there's multiple times when my husband had to yell out the window. Like, actually, he done it so, like, twice, 3 times in the past week to tell the person delivering the package to put it in the package box. the parcel box or whatever, because it's right there, right on the front porch, big and everything with signs on it. And there's even like a sign by the regular mailbox showing you where to go deliver the packages. Almost there. Okay, that is enough recording for now because I'm getting really closer and closer to my home. So I'll be stopping right now. I did 5 miles, 13,000 steps, lost 500 calories. Oh, I am so tired right now. So, yesterday I did a total of 20,000 steps. I wasn't even aware of that until I went into the basement and was checking on some clothes that I was washing, and I looked down at my watch and saw that it was like 18,000. I'm like, what? So that walking definitely helps to increase the amount of steps I take per day. today. So far, I got to 16,000 because I'm definitely not walking a lot right now because I came home and my side was hurting and stuff and just, oh, my goodness. So I'm avoiding doing much. So dinner tonight is going to be very simple. Going to be a frozen pizza with some beef bacon on top and some ground beef on top because I'm not trying to do much. And I already had that figured out today because I knew that I was going to end up walking more than I did yesterday, but I didn't expect to walk this much because I expected to come back home and do some more cleaning and stuff. Turns out, nope, I haven't done that yet because I needed to take out some trash and I haven't done that. So, yes, I am tired. So, thank you for watching my videos, and I do apologize for this because I'm using a new camera holder, and it's a one that that I put around my neck that I hold my phone on. So I haven't been able to really focus the camera not on the ground. So I'm needed because my husband actually looked at my video and was telling me about the angle of the camera. So yeah, and I do realize that after a while that you're staring at the ground a lot, but in some cases I'd rather have it at the ground versus at people. So inshallah, I'll try to do better with a camera angle and have it so that you can see more of my surroundings versus just the ground. So thank you for watching this video. Please leave a like, comment, and share the video if you like.